Alright, here's a top I'm making for a condo in Florida. Right now all it is I use 1x6s for the bottom, go across, you can see and 2x6s on top. You can see the 2x6s lengthwise and the 1x6 is crosswise screwed together. Then what it is, I took a router off of the center point before I drill that big hole in the center. And I clamped a router in the board with a cutter and I routed out that inside circle and this outside circle. Then I took the router and set it up and I cut these slots in there. What it is, I'm going to put shelves in the inner circle, the center, and then the rest are going to be new pennies going around the outside with some small shelves in the other. I'll show you when I'm done. But I'm going to use casting resin on this. I started to do one, and I used this 2-part resin that's supposedly dry to the air, and it didn't work. So I'm going to go back to a system I used 40 years ago with casting resin. And I'll show you how I do that. Alright, let me take you up to this point where I'm at. To reiterate all over again, top layer is 2x6s one way, crosswise underneath there. 1x6s I screwed onto the bottom, took a torch to it and burned it, and then wire brushed it to give it a weathered texture. Then what we came up with here was, I like brand new pennies. The center is 2 shells, and then a ring of shells, and then 4 lines of shells coming out. And then all the way around is brand new pennies, all the way around. Now what it is before I burnt the board, I routed out those grooves. So I had it in a sense routed out. And what it is, last thing I'm going to do is go ahead, well, I'm going to pour one more pour on top of this to pour it up a little thicker. I am using casting resin, mixed kind of hot. Pour it on there. I let it build up a little bit before I put the pennies, so if the pennies will look like they're suspended a little bit, rather than just laying down on the wood. Put around 1/8 of an inch of resin underneath the pennies before I set them down. Alright, next, last thing I'm going to do is go ahead, well, I'm going to pour one more pour on top of this to pour it up a little thicker. It should be a little thicker. Pour it up a little thicker, and then I'm going to pour the last. I'm going to pour right now with this band on it right now. You see, I got one of these bands going on around it, Mylar underneath it, and that's sort of to dam it, dam it up so it doesn't run off the side too much. Next step's going to be, I'll pour one more, around a quart more in the center of this. I'll pour another quart in the center of this. I got little funny spots in there. Another quart in the center of this. Give it another more thickness because some of the shells are sticking up a little bit. And then it'll be the final pour on top. And I'll show you after I do the final pour with the coating of Mylar and rolling out the air bubbles. All right, that's it for now. All right. At this point, after I build up around 1/8 of an inch on top of everything, just with the dammed area, I went ahead and I took Mylar. I couldn't tell you how thick. Fairly thick Mylar. You can buy it at plastic places. And I stretched it over its wooden frame and stapled it on. Right. Then I poured a quantity of the resin right in the center. And then I used the rubber roller just to roll out all of the little air bubbles that get trapped under there to the edge. And it just sort of dribbles over the edge. Now, all right, I'm going to let this set up. And you see there's a little bit of waviness in the plastic. You can't get it exactly smooth. But we'll see what it looks like after I pop it off. All right, this is what the finished table looks like. As you can see, let me walk around, you can see how the light. The top is like glass. Come out. I caught some dirt in there. So there is a little imperfections in there. So That came out pretty good. It's like glass, and it's hard. This top is a top I'm taking to Florida. Now this is the first top